Hey there, this is Martin Reyes, Master of Wine and Winemaker with Peter Paul Wines. I'm going for a twofer today. Efficiency is the name of the game. I'm going to be using our wine number 2 in our Sanity special series to also talk about Earth Day. It's being recorded today on Earth Day. So first about the actual wine. This is a portion of Carneros and a portion of Russian River Chardonnay. Partial malolactic, there's still some malic acid in here, and partial use of oak, only about 25%, the rest is all neutral oak. Many ways to create texture in a Chardonnay. Lee stirring, deciding to go through malolactic, and of course lots of use of oak. And I think of all those elements the way you season food. You don't want to overpower your food with too much garlic or too much pepper or too much salt, right? And just enough where it enhances the flavor of the food, but not overwhelming it. So I do use a little bit of Lee's contact, minimal, almost no racking at all, for a number of months, about 9 months for this Sonoma Coast Chardonnay, and also partial malolactic as opposed to full, and then 25% or so new oak. That new oak is a component of the Bacigalupi vineyard, which I'll talk about maybe wine number 4, or going between red and white. And so what we achieve is something that's texturally medium weight, kind of nice and full, but medium within Chardonnay, but full for white wine, relatively speaking. And the flavors of the apple, the plantain, the stone fruits, all those still come out, and just a little kiss of texture, a little smoothing out of the texture in with the oak and the partial ML. So now today's also Earth Day, so I wanted to tell you how the Chardonnay bottlings used to be coming in out of. This is the standard shape that we used for a number of years. It's great. We still use that for the Bacigalupi for the reserve level, but it used to be used for everything. And this is, can you see me here? This is the new shape that we are using moving forward in 2018. We are reducing our carbon footprint. So this is a few grams lighter than the previous one. It's going to be a little easier to get in your wine racks. And for approximately every 9 or so pallets that go out, pallets about 56 cases, there's one pallet that's taken off the road, relatively speaking, in terms of weight. So we are reducing the emissions in trucking by going from here to here. The other thing too, and so this is what the bottle now looks like, right? We're looking at a few other things, trying to figure out what we're going to do for capsules. Going to use recycled material for labels, and also something I should have mentioned in the beginning. You can always chill filter your Chardonnay for it to be stable, so you don't see all the little particles of haze. Sometimes it goes in the cork and you see those cork crystals. That's the bitartrates that form because if there's instability between acids and salts in the wine, and then that forms, it precipitates out depending on what your chemistry is within the wine, what your pH is, and so forth. So you remove the potassium bitartrate crystals, and one way to doing that before bottling is chill the whole tank, or all the barrels into the tank, and then the tank chill all the way down for 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer. It takes a lot of electricity to do that. There's other ways of doing that. You either leave it in oak longer, or you do a little bit of bentonite fining, or not bentonite, but a few other things that you can find to remove the proteins. Bentonite removes the proteins, but also other elements that electrodialysis as well to remove the particle that would then bind and create those salts. Long story short, we're not chill filtering. So cold stabilizing. I'm trying to do this with one take. Can you tell? I'm also trying to do this having had this much of wine, because this is the Sanity special wine number 2. So cold stability is what I was talking about. And there you have it. The Chardonnay Sonoma Coast 18. Partial ML, partial oak, beautiful with seafood, and not really heavy. This is clean, smooth, and silky. It's gone very well with, I'd say, with sushi. You can also have this with salmon. We're having salmon tonight, salmon with miso glaze and more vegetables, because we're trying to stay healthy. Cheers to Earth Day, and thank you very much from Peter Paul Wines. Peace out. No kids, wonderful.